Today, the Mercury Marine destination takes us over to Saskatchewan and then down to Lake Ontario. First, today is no picnic in the weather department, cold and windy, but the fish are still there. Pike are the target this morning as Charlie joins up with Brandon Schreiber of Cree Lake Lodge. Don't get stuck in a rut. Change tactics quickly and modify for the conditions. When you find the magic ticket, the fish will certainly let you know. Then, jigging can be a wonderful alternative to trolling when currents create a problem. When a technique works, it works. Dealing with the conditions this week on Fishful Thinking. Fishful Thinking is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Princecraft boats dominate the waters. Viking 100% waterproof rain gear. And Ram trucks built to serve. Water conditions are brought to you by Humminbird Fish Finders. Get the big picture. Waters can blow up fast, but you can be more comfortable. Smooth out your ride with Smooth Move's shock-absorbing seat suspensions.
Got a day where we got a cold front, the wind's howling, water's murked up a little bit, and slow rolling a nice bright spoon like this is starting to work. Nice fish. Nice little starter anyway. Can't always expect the fish to chase a fast moving lure if it doesn't feel like it.
Are they hitting hard today, Charlie, or how are they kind of biting?
I'm sorry?
Are they hitting pretty hard today, or how are they biting?
No, they're hardly ticking that spoon.
Did a little flip on there.
Oh, thank you, sir.
That works.
Well, let's see how fast that wind blew us in here. Let me cast one this way, see if I can. But just let it sink for a second and just slow roll it. Let it get down. They can't see up too great. This water's churned up from the wind. But this bright spoon and just slow rolling it has been starting to get some hits. Like that one.
Right at the boat. Looks like a not bad fish,
That's
Charlie.
a little better. But I've been trying a few things, Brandon. You saw what I was switching up in that, and this seems to be the ticket right now.
Yeah.
And if we get into some debris or a lot of shrub, I've got a little trick of making a single hook weedless on these. That's worked really well for me in the past.
Nice looking pike right there, buddy.
Yeah, let him. He's going to have one more little outburst, I think. Great Daiwa Rebellion 2-piece rod. It feels like a 1-piece, just beautiful, sensitive, strong graphite. X45 bias graphite construction. The braiding on this, the fibers go a 45-degree angle, and it gives it such strength. Thank you, sir.
Not a bad pike right there, Charlie.
And again, on a trip like this is a 2-piece rod. You wouldn't even know it was a 2-piece rod. The sensitivity and the power in this rod is so incredible. And this Zillion, Daiwa Zillion, again, it's got my little, one of my favorite little things, that T-wing system. Opens up during the cast so there's no resistance and drops into that level wind system. Just beautiful, beautiful. I think this has 11 bearings. 9 of them are corrosion resistant bearings, so it's a real beautiful casting reel. Even in this wind, I'm casting into the wind and I'm not getting backlashes. Incredible. Yep, definitely the ticket, Brandon.
They're loving that spoon here.
Yeah, just slowing it down.
Yep.
You can see it. That's a nice fish.
It's a nice fish. They're all the high 30s, just touching that 40-inch mark, it seems, Charlie, eh?
Actually, that is a nice fish.
It'd be nice if this wind did us a favor and calmed down a little bit, but I don't think that's going to happen today.
I don't know if he's net worthy.
If you'd like me to net it, just say that's not a bad fish. Charlie. It's thick.
It's a big fish.
Yeah, I can, you want it in the net? Here, I'll just net it. Deal with it here.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's a nice fish. Oh, get in there.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Nothing wrong with that fish. Just try and get that hook out of there. Okay, perfect. We're tangled up. I'll bring it up to you, Charlie.
Take my other glove out in a second so I can go either way on this thing. Real nice fish. Woo! Gotta love it. This guy's gonna go quick.
Yeah, so that can...
Zoom.
There she goes.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you, sir.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Mercury. Power and dependability you can count on.
What do I want in a tow vehicle? I love my Ram. I have power, I have fuel efficiency, but there's so much more. I need four-wheel drive for slippery boat ramps, a backup camera to make it so much easier to hitch up the boat. It's also a double check to make sure I've taken off the chains and all is clear to pull away when I detach. A front camera for tight spots because we all get into them. Surround views. I even want memory settings on my mirror so I can have one setting for driving and another for a better view of tight spots at the boat ramp. Adjustable trailer heights because it's so important to keep everything level. And one of my all-time favorites, blind spot alert. Not only for my vehicle, but it extends to accommodate my trailer when towing. So helpful on wet, rainy nights. Make a list before you get your next tow vehicle and get exactly what you want.
Conditions today are brought to you by Revo Sunglasses. See what others don't.
That thing's rip and drag on you, Charlie.
Kind of going squirrely, but again, I just cast into the wind. This reel allowed me to cast quite far into the wind. And whatever this is tagged it pretty good.
I hope we at least get a look at this fish because that thing's got some weight and some power.
Whatever you do, don't ever let your line rub on the boat. If you have to drop to your knees, get down on your knees. Don't let it catch in the motor. This is not a lightweight rod either. I'm putting some...
You want me to come up there, Charlie, or you want to...
You're gonna need the net.
You want me on the front with you, or you want
Sure, yeah, you might want to come up here.
I'll just, we got lots of room to drift across here.
Lots of wind. We got lots of room for the wind to push us.
Perfect.
Feel out the fish's mood. I've been throwing all kinds of things this morning.
Yeah?
And I wanted to go bright. And they wanted, spoons always work for pike, but everyone cranks them fast. Try it slow. Water's cooled off overnight. We haven't had the sun yet.
Nice fish. Yes,
awesome.
Good.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Give you a little splash there. The hook is out, so I'm just gonna bring her up in here for you.
Oh, awesome.
That is a sassy.
Okay.
If you want to grab the fish, I'll just dig that hook out quick.
Just do grab my line. There we are.
It's over top. There, that's a nice fish, Charlie. There, we're out.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Over net.
Yeah. Wow.
Get in there. I'll get you on the other side, Brandon.
Look at that, Charlie.
Look at that.
That's a good pike, buddy.
Now, you're in paradise. You know the fish are here. Don't keep throwing the same thing. Find something that's going to fire them back up because you know they're here. It's not like you're casting to no fish in the water.
Beautiful fish.
Oh,
away it goes.
Quick release, and this water's cold. Look what cold water does. I'm going to slime you, buddy.
I'll do that. Good one,
sir.
Charlie. Let's get back over on that shore, I think, and work that a little more and see
absolutely.
what comes of that.
Now, this is something I've done to these spoons. When I'm in an area where there's a lot of weeds, I'm casting into the logs, and I want to make this almost a weedless presentation. I've taken 80-pound test seaguar fluorocarbon. I've tied a uni knot tight to the shank of the hook. It works really great with a siwash hook like this because you've got a big eyelet on it. I run the line up through the line tie, and then I tie it as close as I can back on this knot with another uni knot. And I always try to do it as tight as I can with another uni, pull it tight with pliers. And when you've got the 2 uni knots in the shaft of that hook like that, I can now, I always leave a little tag too so I can grab it with the pliers and tighten it up when needed, when it loosens up. I can adjust this and create a loop with either one of these. If the loop's too big, I can shorten it with that one. I can extend it by moving that on the shank of the hook. I can slide this one up to the bend in the hook. And I've got a fluorocarbon loop that, and you can twist that either way depending on what you want to do. You can loop it around the hook and hold it in place. When a fish hits that, it just claps right down to nothing and you got a perfect hook set. But if you're getting a little bit of loose debris or the odd branch, it is enough to deflect that hook. And right now I don't need it, but I'm sure there's going to be a few places today where I use my little weedless presentation. Well, like I was saying, cold front, high winds, slow rolling the spoon, casting in areas where there's snaggy and debris filled areas with that little trick I do with my single hook, and you get some nice fish still.
Right on, Charlie.
Perseverance. You just keep trying and trying.
It's a nice pike, buddy. Oh!
There we go.
It's been interesting today, Charlie, this wind.
I can't hear a word you're saying in this wind, Brandon. I'm going to put my gloves on, grab my pliers, and I know you're going to have to do boat control.
That's all right.
Look at this. And he just gorfed that down. We might need jaw spreaders. We'll see.
That's a nice fish, Charlie.
That's a dandy, isn't it? Let's see where you are. It's only a single.
You want them jaw spreaders or? Oh, it's out.
It's out?
Yep, it's out. It is out.
Awesome. I'm going to be so quick with this fish, it's not even funny.
I'll get back on the controls here, buddy.
Look at that. Hooah! There's that little trick. That little fluorocarbon weed guard on that single hook. I can drag it into crap that I normally couldn't. Debris, garbage. Yeah. There are times when the currents are just so weird you don't want to be trolling in them, or it's too rough. I've been out here before in 5 and 6 foot waves jigging for lake trout and salmon, and sometimes the rougher it is, the better it is. But when the currents are really odd and you just can't get a good trolling speed in, sometimes jigging just does it. I love using my Lexa 300 line counter. I can watch my line go down. If I'm fishing in 80 feet of water and it stops in 60, I know I've had a hit, so I can react quicker. A good frog rod like this Tatula rod, or even lake trout This is normally a lake trout, but I do catch salmon this way. And this one's acting a little weird. It could be a salmon. Guys out in the West Coast, they salmon fish all the time with jigging spoons. Guys out here go, it's a lake trout thing. It's not a lake trout thing. Anytime you can deal with those weird currents, you're winning. And there's a beautiful salmon. I didn't like that net, did you? Good thing it's a single hook in it. Anyway, he goes again. I've got my Minn Kota Altera down at the front. I've got my hummingbird here. I'm watching my depth. I'm watching the fish. I'm looking for bait balls. If I see a really good run, I'll go back and go through it a few times until I've exhausted it. And I have tipped this jig with a set the hook nailer shad. And this new nailer shads and all the set the hook has bait fuel in it. It's a great scent they have now. Now I think I've got you. Look at this bonus. Like I said, I'm normally fishing for lake trout doing this, but when there's salmon in the area, it works. All right, rod down. And it's only a single hook. I'm gonna make sure I give myself lots of line and be quick with this guy because the surface temperature is crazy warm. And it's only down by the bottom that it's the right temperatures. Oh yeah! Hold your head down. Where'd my pliers go? Right under you. Pop that out. And my line. And my leader. Look at that! Gorgeous fish. Awesome salmon. Oh right, this is the one I tipped with the tube. My other one that I was using for a while, I had the nailer shad on. This one, same thing. Set the hook tube with that bait fuel scent in it. And do I ever have a mess in the net here? There we go. Nice big jig. I love white. Nice white tube. All I've done is tip it on there for a little bit of action, a little bit of scent. I've used the nailer shads before for the lake trout. I thought I'd give it a little bit of a squiddy looking action. The tube's the one that worked. Nice long leader. And show you, as soon as I get out of the net here, I'll show you exactly what I'm doing here. There we go. Now, before I throw my rod in the water, clean the slime off my hands. You see I've got my Minn Kota down at the front for boat control. So, all I'm doing to slow my drifts down, I keep tacking myself into the wind a little bit. Spin the boat, slow the boat down. I don't want to be drifting too fast. 120 on the line counter. And all I'm doing, I'm giving this a big rip up and I'm following it back down. You don't just drop it on the slack line, follow it down. Free spool, hit the bottom, tighten up, lift, follow it down. Now the salmon love that long drop. The lake trout will hit that as well, but sometimes you're going through a batch of lake trout and if they're not responding to that slow drop on them, believe it or not, sometimes a slow crank up for the lake trout, you would be amazed how far the lake trout, when they don't want to hit that on the bottom, will just put their nose behind it and follow it 10, 20, 30, 40 feet. We've had them in northern lakes hit it at the surface. But you know what? Jigging works.
Fishful Thinking is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Princecraft boats dominate the waters. Minn Kota Altera trolling motors and Ram trucks built to serve. Tackle today 100% protection from UV, A, B, and C with Revo sunglasses. 40-pound test Seagar Smackdown Performance Braided Lines. Daiwa Zillion heavy-duty bait casting reel with the T-Wing system. 130-pound test Seagar Abrasics, Muskie, and Pike Leader. Available in 1 or 2-piece, the Daiwa Rebellion Rods. Viking 100% waterproof and windproof jackets, pants, and bibs. Daiwa Lexa 300 line counter bait casting reel with power handle. Seagar STS Salmon 100% fluorocarbon leader material. Minn Kota Altera trolling motor with auto stow and deploy. Designed for multi-species, the Princecraft Expedition 200. The Mercury 225 horsepower 4-stroke motor. And the Ram 2500 with 6.7-liter Cummins diesel engine.
Oh, you got all of that. And you tangled my other one. There we are. It works, folks, and it's so much fun.